Hey guys, hi Triceps, what's up? Happy Tuesday. How is it already another Tuesday? And how is it already the end of August? It's August 30th. We have literally about 30 hours till the end of the month. How are you feeling about your end of month goals? You feeling okay? You feeling like you're gonna hit them? I did so much work today inviting and talking to people and following up and just letting people know what's happening, and hopefully it pays off. Like, hopefully it works out. So let's see what happens. But we're going to make this quick because I know we have a ton of work to do. So we're going to make this quick, but I have a few announcements. Actually, I have a lot of announcements. So let me just go through these announcements really quick. So right after this call, in an hour, I have the Health Bet webinar open to all of the team to just teach your people about what the Health Bet is and just talking about getting into a group for September. Okay, also on Thursday is the September Surge, or the fourth quarter surge. I just posted about it in Team Triceps, and it's where Carl gets on and just, you know, breathes life into us for September and really to do the final push for the end of the year. So this year has been flying by, and September, I think 24th or something, marks our start of fourth quarter, which is crazy. So September is the time when we start to really talk about like pushing and building momentum for January. So January is always a huge month for us because this is when people are most likely to say yes with New Year's resolutions because they're ready. Like January is just like a time for people to say ready. And it seems like September really is too, because people are like through summer and they're like, okay, I got to get back on track. September seems to be that time, but January by far is that time where people say yes. So you want to be building a lot of momentum, building your team and talking to a lot of people now through the end of the year so that you have that arsenal, you have that funnel of people, and you have, you know, that monthly list, that monthly follow-up list full packed of people so that come January, you know, they're ready to go. And really any time for that. Like, I mean, you know, October is when Core to Force comes out. People are going to be ready to do that, but you've got to be talking to people now, right? So that's what Carl's going to talk about, is really just, you know, pushing for the end of the year. Like, this is where we really start the push to build momentum to go into January, to make January a really huge month. Okay. So, I can't believe it, but yeah, 2017 is like right around the corner. Okay, so next announcement, so get on that surge, and the surge is going to be on a Facebook Live on the Team Beachbody 411 Facebook page. Okay, so the coach invite workshop has been extended, so I'm going to extend that through Sunday night at 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I am extending that out because I want you guys, for those of you that haven't had a chance to do it, I think it expires tonight at 11, I think is what the original date was. But I just really want you to focus on inviting, so and hitting your end of month goals. So that workshop has been extended. So if you want to rewatch it, or you know someone that needs to get on it, make sure to tag them. I'm going to do the same deal that I did with the 5-step customer invite, where if you send me your streak where it's set up like your steps, and then you send me your snippets that they're all saved, you will be entered to win $50 from me. So send me that to teamtriceps@gmail.com. Same thing that we did, same contest for the 5-step customer invite process. I'll go live and talk about that probably tomorrow. Okay, so what else? What else is going on? Okay, so September team calls. I am not going to do any September team calls. And this is because Lauren Kaliski, who is the founder of Team Fit Revolution, she's one of my PS coaches. She has a huge team, Team Fit Revolution, that's part of Team Triceps. She is doing, with many of the coaches in her downline, a challenge group series. So they're going to be talking about challenge groups and how to run really awesome challenge groups for the whole month of September. So it's going to be really good. Her team calls are Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, every single Thursday, and they start this Thursday. So it's a 4-week series that starts this Thursday. Now the call this Thursday for her actually doesn't begin until 9:30 p.m. because of the surge. The surge goes until 9:30 p.m. So her call will start right after the surge. I will post a link to get onto her Zoom and all that stuff, but I want you to mark your calendars for all of September. Team calls are going to be with Lauren's team, Team Fit Revolution, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so she will also be posting the recordings. Pearl, go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Go on. Go on. She'll be posting recordings for us as she uploads them to YouTube, but she does her team calls on Zoom. Okay, so it'll be a little bit different, but a little fun and a great way to change it up. So I'm excited for that. Also, for the workshops for September, I'd like for you to mark your calendars for the workshops in September. There's going to be a workshop on the 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Pacific. That is a Saturday, Saturday the 10th, and Saturday the 17th. There's also going to be a workshop at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 7 a.m. Pacific. The reason why it's at 10 a.m. is because Lauren will be doing one and Alexa will be doing one, and they are out on the West Coast, so they want to start at 7 a.m., which I don't blame them. So those two are going to be doing the workshops for September. One is going to be all about social media, and one is going to be like social media and branding, and then one is going to be about graphic design, like how to like kill it with your graphics. Alexa's going to do that, and Lauren's going to do the social media branding one, which both are going to be amazing. So mark your calendars for that. Because I want you to be on those. And we're still working out if they're going to use my platform here on Webinar Jam to be able to record it. Because when those workshops get to be 3 hours, it's really tough to record that on Zoom. So we're trying to work out the logistics of that. So we'll keep you guys updated and posted. I just wanted you to get them on your calendar. And I don't know which one is which yet. They haven't picked a date. There will also be a new coach game plan call sometime the weekend of the 24th. The 24th is a Saturday. I don't know if it will be on that Saturday or Sunday, but there will be a new coach game plan call that weekend. Cool? Okay, I think that's it for announcements. So let's just see if anybody has any questions. Let's see. Okay, good. Okay, good. No questions. Okay, awesome. So let's jump in. So let's talk about social media. So really this call is for you to just understand all the options for social media. And I really just want you to pick two social media that you're going to focus on, that you're going to really do a good job at. Two. And if two seems overwhelming, then just pick one. One is okay too, but two is tops. That's all I want you to focus on when it comes to social media. And I got this idea from a presentation at Summit where they had a chart of what all the different social medias were and what they meant. So I just thought that I would kind of put that together for the team. And just really just want you to focus on two. So there's so many options out there, and this thing right here, this can take up our life. And it's really hard to detach from everything that's going on when this is our business, this is our life, this is our livelihood. And if you're doing too much, it will bite you in the ass, like I promised. So you've got to like put boundaries and parameters on your social media use, right? So that's why I want you to focus on two, and you can be good at two. Like there's a social media out there that you can be really, really good at. So I want you to pick two, and I want you to dig in with that. Okay, so let's start. So number one is Snapchat. So who out there uses Snapchat? I'd love to hear what you think about Snapchat. I know we have a lot of Snapchat users. I have been a huge Snapchat user in the past. I no longer am, because I had to put some parameters up for myself. And it was one of those social medias that was taking a lot of time, and I just felt like I was on my phone a lot with it. Now, it's really good, and some people kill it with Snapchat. Snapchat, think The Truman Show. So it's like you're really sharing everything that's happening in your life, and it's a great way to connect with people because it's really informal. You don't have to feel like you're making like every single post perfect and beautiful. Like you're just taking snapshots and going. So Snapchat is pictures for 24 hours. So you have this storyline for 24 hours, and as things expire, nobody can see them anymore. So they're gone. So you can only see your stuff for 24 hours. So it's kind of cool. You could do like themes like every day, like, this 24-hour wheel has, recipes. This 24-hour wheel, you're talking more about fitness. I don't know. You could do like different things. You could talk about your kids, parenting, whatever, gardening, anything that you want to talk about on Snapchat. But what you need to do is you need to be funny and you need to be valuable. So you really need to add value to people. That's how you're going to build a following, and being funny and using the filters and using everything that Snapchat has to offer. There are some, when I was on Snapchat, there were some great people that I followed that just always had funny stories, that it was like free entertainment for me. And those are the people that I always went to, that I always followed, that I always listened. Many times I would get on a story and I would just like tap through the videos because I'm just like, oh, they're just talking, they're boring. So you've got to be entertaining. You've got to like show some value to people. Okay. So that's Snapchat. One thing with Snapchat is you want to find apps that will help build your following. So there's lots of apps out there where you can put up your Snapchat profile and people can, you know, search for different people that they're looking for and they can find you there. Because it's not always easy to find people on Snapchat just by searching on Snapchat. Okay, next is Twitter. Now, I don't know a ton about Twitter, but I know we have some people that use Twitter, and Twitter is really this like constant update. Like, so it's just constantly happening. Like you're putting out quotes, you're putting out your opinion, you're putting out what you're doing, but it's only in 140 words. Okay, you only have 140 words, or characters maybe. 140 characters, I'm sorry, 140 characters. So it's really small, and you can use pictures, but I think it's mostly just words. So it's not really about the pictures on Twitter. It is truly about the words and just doing quick updates about what you're doing. I don't really get Twitter. Does anybody get Twitter? But if you are really like, like creative and crafty, and you come up with like funny things like really fast, what's the word for that? Like someone who's like, you know, can like, you know, be in a conversation, witty, someone who's like witty, right? If you've got like some wit and some funniness about you, Twitter might be really good, and you might really grow a good following on Twitter. So I think it's also a great place to meet new people. Okay, Facebook. I think we all use Facebook, or at least most of us use Facebook, and I think that's how we all stay connected. And that's what I love about Facebook, is that it's more about the connection. It's more about sharing like your lifestyle. It's about family. It's about really connecting and building relationships. That is what Facebook is about. Facebook is really, really good for your warm market. So I love Facebook for that, and just love Facebook because it's really easy to share your story and connect with new people on Facebook. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's maybe not easy to connect with new people. It's easy to make connections with people that maybe you already know. Facebook is a little bit tougher to meet new people. You've got to do a lot of work to meet new people on Facebook. But if you put in the work, I think Facebook is a great way to meet new people. And if you have a like page on Facebook, you can use ads, which is, I think, the best way to grow your network and to grow your list and to really meet new people. So once you kind of start moving through that warm market and you're like, okay, I'm in that cold market and I'm meeting people, Facebook ads and your Facebook like page are a really great way to build up that following. Okay, Instagram. So Instagram, I think most of us use Instagram. Instagram is all about the pictures. So Instagram is all about taking beautiful pictures. So Instagram and Facebook are different. You know, when I post similar things there a lot, but I have noticed that when I post certain things on Instagram, it doesn't do well on Facebook, and vice versa. When I post things on Facebook, it doesn't do well on Instagram. So here's the thing with Instagram. You've got to have really good pictures. You've got to be good at graphic design. Things have got to be visually appealing for someone to want to follow you and check up on what you're doing. You've also got to have like good things to say. Like, you know, I mean, it's a lot about pictures, but people want like a good story. Like they want a brand. They want to know what they're going to get from you. Okay, so Instagram is not really lifestyle or a lot of things. It's more like honing in on one thing. Okay, so really kind of think about how you're branding your Instagram and how you want to really keep it where it's at. So if you're really into food and you're a foodie, maybe you're just focusing on posting what your food is about, and you talk, you know, behind the scenes with people who like your stuff about helping them eat healthier. Maybe you never even post about your challenge groups, but you talk behind the scenes with all these people, getting them set up with challenge groups. Maybe you're really into running, and that's really what your Instagram is about. It's about running. Maybe you are, you know, you're a busy mom, and that's what your Instagram is about, right? So really kind of focus on what is the reason for your Instagram? Like what is the underlying theme and brand beneath your Instagram? Okay, and Instagram is a great way to meet people. And when you kind of keep that theme all along one line, and it's really easy for people to want to follow you. I feel like I feel like the accounts that have more followers do a really good job with pictures, and they do a really good job with branding themselves into like really one kind of category, if that makes sense. So if you're interested in really kind of upping your Instagram game, which I've been working on for a long time, and it's hard to kind of put that one thing into motion. Just keep doing research and keep looking at other Instagrams that you love and you know, and see what they're doing. And you got to get good at taking pictures. So you've got to really invest time in taking the right pictures and getting the right things, angles and different things. You know, some people just have a knack for taking pictures. So they kill it on Instagram. Okay, Instagram also has a new thing called Stories, Instagram Stories, which is like Snapchat. So you can have your Instagram page where everything stays, but you also can have an Instagram story where your stuff goes through like 24 hours. And people are actually seeing the stories way more than they're seeing my my posts. So almost 200 people are seeing my Instagram stories, and I'm only getting, you know, 80 likes on my picture. Now, just because people see it doesn't mean they like it. So obviously, you know, 200 people could see my picture and only 80 like it. So it just really depends, but I'm getting 200 views on my Instagram story. So if you're not seeing stories, you really should get into stories. But again, it's kind of like Snapchat. It turns into a little bit of the Truman Show. I haven't been using it that often, so you've got to really make that choice and be conscious of your time and your resources for that. Pearl, just wait, honey. I'm almost done. Okay, so Pinterest. So I don't know about you guys, but I freaking love Pinterest. And I've been really trying to get into, come up here. I've been really trying to get into using Pinterest more for my business. So if you love Pinterest and you want to use it to meet people, I want to just talk quickly about how to do that. So you want to create boards on your Pinterest that are going to attract people to what you do. And really, here's the staple boards that you need to have besides your hobbies, like besides the things that you love. Can you just hold on for a second? You're being very rude. Come on. Sit. Okay, so here are the boards that we need to do. So board called My Story, 21 Day Fix Approved, Shakeology recipes, smoothie recipes, at-home workouts, core workouts, clean eating tips, and workout inspiration. Those are, I would say, the Pinterest boards that you need to do. So let me read those again. My Story, 21 Day Fix Approved, Shakeology recipes, smoothie recipes, at-home workouts, core workouts, clean eating tips, and workout inspiration. Okay, so what I want you to do when you create these boards, I want you to create a cover photo for these boards so that when someone lands on your Pinterest page, it looks pretty, first of all. Okay, second of all, you can have other boards, but just make them look pretty too. Okay, what I want you to do with this is I want you to start tagging and pinning other things that would fit into this. So you're not always going to just pin your own stuff, but you're going to build up these boards so that people want to follow it. And you want to do it with like content that's really good. So something that, not just pin it to just pin it, but something that's like, oh man, I would love to make that, or oh man, that's such a good tip. Like, what is something that you would absolutely pin? That's what you need to pin on these boards, okay? So not just pin to pin, like actually think about what it is you're pinning, okay? So as you're filling it with other stuff, you're going to start to sprinkle in your own graphics. So Pinterest is really good for people who love to make graphics, like people who are good in Canva and PicMonkey and, you know, Rana or WordSwag, like where you can take your picture, you can take a background or whatever, and you can make an infographic or just a regular graphic and an inspirational quote. These are so good for Pinterest. Pinterest is all about quotes and infographics, like graphics with text. Okay, so if you love cooking and you're doing recipes, take a picture of what you're cooking, put some text on it, and put it on Pinterest and link it up to where you have your recipe saved. Okay, So you want to connect your boards and you want to connect your pins to your website. Okay, so this is why my next thing that I'm going to talk about is blogs. And really, if you're going to do Pinterest, you need to also have a blog. So I actually have a new coach. Her name's Trina, and she's focusing just on Pinterest and just on her blog. Like, she doesn't really do Facebook. She doesn't really do Instagram. So she's just focusing on Pinterest and her blog, and it's a great way to meet people. But in order to really get people connected to you and what you do via Pinterest, you really need to have some sort of blog where you can send people, okay? So I would say if you're going to do Pinterest, you also need to do a blog, and those need to go hand in hand, and most likely you're not going to be focusing on other social media. Okay, so you need to connect your pins and your boards, like your own personal pins and your full big boards, to your website. Okay, and your website needs to have a way to connect with you and a way to join your team, right? Or a way to like send you a message or you know, get like a free meal plan or something like that, right? Your website needs to have something where they're enticed to work with you. Okay. Let's see, what else? Oh, I wanted to talk about group boards. So if you haven't done this on Pinterest yet, you should, but there's something called group boards where you can actually add collaborators onto a board. So let's say you want to create a healthy recipe board, and you want to add other foodies to this recipe board. Or maybe it shouldn't even be healthy. It should really be very specific, like gluten-free recipes, or it should be like vegan recipes, or maybe it should be paleo recipes, or maybe it should be healthy chocolate recipes, like something really specific, so that something that people don't already have on their own. Because then when you add people, they're going to start adding things to that. Okay, now this should also be a board where you can potentially start adding your own graphics in eventually, because what happens is when there's people collaborating on a board, say there's 10 people collaborating on a board, all of their followers are seeing that board. So you're reaching so many more people. So if you start this board and you start, like, you know, adding some things to it, like other pins, and then you start adding your own, and then you add some collaborators and they start pinning stuff and collaborating, you have tons of pins on this board and tons of people following it. So that's a really great way if you are you know, building your Pinterest. This is a great way to do it. And this is a great way to get your blog out there if you pin your own stuff on this particular specific board. You can also ask other people, like if you find other big group boards, you can ask, you know, message those people and ask if you can be a collaborator on that board. That's a great way to get into something like that. Like, I'm part of a big, huge group board that's like inspirational quotes or daily inspiration. And I post a lot of like my own personal quotes and graphics on there and link it up to my website. And it just gets in the eyes of a lot of people. Okay, so that one's a big one. That one's a lot. And I would say if you're going to focus on Pinterest and the blog, that really needs to just kind of go with each other. And you've got to understand that when you're setting that up, you've got to be working on your warm market, sending a lot of messages out somehow via text, via email, whatever. You've got to be talking to a lot of people behind the scenes, because it's going to take you a little while to get all of that up and running. So maybe it's just a project that you're working on while you're doing some other social media. But if you want to continue to build your business while you're doing that, you've got to be having those conversations behind the scene. Okay. Obviously, I think that still having a Facebook presence is really important. I don't think you should give up Facebook altogether, but I think it's doable if you don't want to do Facebook. You can still do Pinterest in your blog, but you've got to somehow be talking to people behind the scenes via text or whatever about what you're doing. Okay. And lastly, let's talk about YouTube. So YouTube is really great for teaching somebody something. So are you good at teaching? Are you good at like creating systems and telling people how to do things? Are you good at putting videos together? Like, are you good at that stuff? With apps like iMovie and a bunch of other great apps on the iPhone, I don't even know them, but you can put together some awesome movies super easily without all the expensive stuff that, you know, you used to have to create a really cool movie. So I always tell Adam he should start a YouTube channel, because he knows how to do so many things, and he's really methodical and really systematic about it. But he's just not willing to take the video and set it up and do all that stuff. Maybe someday. But if you have that, you know, methodical, systematic way of doing things, and you're good at teaching people, YouTube is really awesome. So think things like 3 tips for 3 ways to do or, you know, cook this a different way, or a new way to cook, you know, to fry an egg or whatever, right? You want to think about what do people want? And you know what people want when you go onto YouTube and you start typing and you can see all of the suggestions coming up. That's what people want. So start thinking about, what do I have to offer and what can I teach people? If you're good at video and you like doing that stuff, you know, YouTube is awesome. You can create a really cool YouTube. You just have to make sure that you're linking it up to a way that somebody can contact you, like an email, getting on your list, or, you know, finding you on Facebook or Instagram. Cool. Okay, that was a lot. And I know I went through that fast, but I just wanted to get through fast because we have so much going on by end of month. So let me just see what everybody's saying here. Okay, so let's see. So Susanna links everything back to her like page on her pins. So that's awesome. So Susanna, are you actively building your like page? So you want to make sure that it's like a place where somebody can really contact you and sees all of your stuff. Because I know a lot of people have a like page, but are they actively building it and posting there? Like for me, I post 99% of my stuff on my like page. So that's a great idea. If you're using your like page actively, absolutely awesome. And yes, Crystal, it's called a group board, but when you basically to create a group board, you just start the board and then you click add collaborators. Okay. Abby says, does anybody here use a blog? I've tried, but have been unsuccessful. You know, check out Wix. Wix has a great, really super easy way to start a blog. Just do some research. Just go to Google and say easy blogs to get started. Something like WordPress is really tough. That's what I have because when I had someone build it in the beginning, that's what she used, and that's what I'm stuck with. So I've had to learn some WordPress skills over the years, but I also do hire some of that out. And I understand that that's not possible for a lot of people. So Wix is a great way to start a blog. Let's see. So Liz says, I have a blog. I feel like I don't feel all that connected to my Facebook or Instagram. This is so much more my vibe, and I'm happy to know where to start. Yeah, so like if that's your vibe, and here's the cool thing, like you can still keep your Facebook, like keep that presence and post your blogs on Facebook, because there are people that really love to read blogs, you know, and you can build up your following that way. And Facebook actually loves content in blogs. So if you put an ad on a blog, like, you know, a real easy ad for $10, you can really build that blog up, and people, as long as it's something that people want to read, you know. Facebook loves blogs and loves putting that in the news feed. So that's a great way to get that up. Okay. YouTube is how I fix my plumbing. Yes, exactly. Yes. Good, good, good. Okay, awesome. So let me see here. Yeah, so Evie says I need to definitely clean out my Pinterest closet. Yes, so go to Pinterest. If Pinterest is something that you love and you want to start using more, just clean it up a little bit. And you know, the really cool trick is that you can actually make a board secret. So if it's like a hot mess board, but you're not ready to clean it up yet, just make it secret, and you can take certain pins from on that board and repin them to your new board. So that's what I did with a lot of my stuff. A lot of my boards are secret, and the ones that I want out there are open and out there. And my Pinterest is far from being perfect because I just don't have time to make it great, but you know, just one step at a time and focus on it, and you'll you never know what happens. So cool. Okay, so yeah. And Susanna just posted a link for how to link your pins. But you guys, be resourceful. Go to Google and say, how do I link my pin to my blog? How do I link my pin to a website? How do I link my pin to my Facebook page? And I guarantee you'll find the answer right there on that really cool website called Google. So you guys are awesome. You guys are resourceful. You can do this. Hopefully that gives you some new ideas about social media. There are so many things out there that you can do. Yes? Yes. Okay, go out there. Now go finish up August strong. Go talk to people. Go make this happen. Go hit Success Club. Go get people in the house bet. I'll see you in 30 minutes on my webinar. Have an awesome night, you guys. I'll see you soon. Thanks for being on.